I did come up with a new term, though.
Huh.
And I want this on the record, so I'm going to make sure this is included on the actual file for the podcast, because I'm responsible for this. I have created a new term that I looked on Urban Dictionary, and it's not there.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
We'll make up a dictionary term for it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put one in. But this is what it is. I think it's pretty solid. Justin Navarro was on Snapchat today asking anyone who is having a good day or a bad day to send pictures of boobies. He didn't even care who it was. He just wanted pictures sent to him.
Like me or you?
Like anyone. If you follow him on Snapchat, he wants pictures. So I just, off the top of my head, I said, I think I know a good term for this. Because he said, guys, if you want to send pictures to someone, feel free to do so, but don't do it unsolicited. And I thought, well, that's just toward guys. So here's my new term. For women, it's unsoliciteds.
Unsolicited. What about boys?
Well, that's just an unsolicited dick pic. Maybe unsolicited dick.
Unsolicited?
But I like unsoliciteds.
Unsolicited.
The only difference is I think they're always welcome.
So unsolicited are just random titties.
Yeah, they just get sent to you. Didn't ask for them. They just show up and like, whoa, hey.
Stephanie, send us some unsolicited.
Hang on. Please. See? And you know what the difference is between your statement and my statement?
You don't get any titties and I do.
I was being... No, maybe not, because I was a gentleman, and I said, please.
And they don't like that. They're like, oh, well, he told me to show titties. I better hurry up and do that.
Is this that bad boy thing again?
Not the bad boy, it's the...
Authoritarian?
Yes. Show me thy titties. No!
Oh, no.
I'll cut her allowance if I don't see titties.
I like that we're getting back into the old English variety here, where you said thy.
I make her wear a merkin sometimes, too, so...
A merkin.
A merkin.
Well, I got to say, this is the first time I've heard the word merkin used on the show. That's good to hear. Thank you.
Speaking of, I need to take mine off.
Wow. You see, if we had any kind of a production budget, I think we could have gone with maybe some Velcro.
That was Velcro.
It was not Velcro.
I'm also a Foley on the show. You know that.
Oh, that's just lovely. That is also not what I wanted. Why is that happening?
A Foley?
Yes, Steve, a Foley. Good God.
We love Foleys. They're awesome. That's like the unsung hero of like Hollywood, a Foley. And the margarita kicks in.
The what kicks in?
The margarita. She made me go to Mexican like an hour ago.
I didn't make him.
She was like, let's go get a margarita. And now I'm feeling it.
Okay, so which one did you go to?
The only true Mexican restaurant where you can actually have your mother raped back in the day, almost, kind of.
Campestre?
No.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande.
Back in the day when they were where Blockbuster and everything used to be.
Right.
The guy with the hat now, he looks the same. He might have been 50 now. He's 80, still looks the same. He would pretty much grope my mother in front of me. It was awesome. Oh. She kind of liked it.
Well, it's good to
I think maybe we got a discount. I can't remember.
Well, it's good to be popular.
Mom's
Number
a hoe.
one. You want... Mom's a hoe.
Mom's a hoe.
We've got a lot of competition for this.
15 baby daddies, 4 kids.
We have got a lot of competition for the episode title today. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be...
She will never listen to this. So
Mom's a hoe. God in heaven.
She was actually telling Stephanie about some kind of sexual encounter she had the other day.
What?
And then she was talking about watching the new 50 Shades of whatever by herself. Like, that's disgusting. I don't want to hear that.
She had the door locked.
Oh, well, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Well,
that's
that makes
why I
all
don't
the
hang out with my mom.
I can handle this. Hang on a second, please. Did someone bring my car around? Please. I think we're pretty well done here. We're just going to go hot mic, and then I'm going to get out of here.
You're blocked in.
Yes, but not from running out the door, screaming and crying for someone to call the police. Then I realized they'd be calling this city's police, and
you would get beat up for calling them.
That's a 50-50 shot that I'm going to get beat up for disrupting them. Although, you ready for the stereotypical joke of the week?
What?
Shouldn't be too hard to find them. I do live right above Donut Connection. Don't have my rim shot sound on here. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Rim shot. What's that sound like?
You know what a rim shot sounds like.
It's either a boing or a lick.
A what?
A boing or a lick.
A boing or a lick?
It's like or a boing.
That sounds like the choice that every bisexual woman has to make
A
before
boing.
going out to the bar on the weekend.
A
Which
boing
one
or a
does she
lick?
want? You want a boing or a lick?
Maybe both. Just depends what she brought to the table that
Well,
night.
you know what we call that? A threesome.
Yes.
Boy, we're making all kinds of friends tonight. We haven't even officially started. That's lovely. What did you say?
No comment.
No comment? Yeah, that'll fool them. That'll fool them.
That'll fool her.
Yeah, everyone's fooled. Thank you for that.
Look at Stephanie's color configuration over here. Look at this. Look at her hat, her chair, and her shirt. Look at, the mic, or the headphones, the shirt, and the chair.
Yeah,
I like blue.
it all matches.
It's turquoise and what is that, turquoise?
Yeah, it's kind of a
aqua.
teal. It's kind of a teal, an aqua.
More aqua.
Aqua,
Yeah.
teal, aqua.
Teal, I guess, has more greenish
Green. This
in
is
it.
aqua.
Okay.
It is.
It's meant to be.
Well, what's great is the
And baby blue.
headphones were just kind of coincidental.
The chair.
Perfect.
They were just here waiting. Now the chair was not, and the shirt was not.
And we didn't
And-
color coordinate the
and
chair and the
jeans.
shirt.
Jeans, a little bit
Jeans,
of contrast with a darker color. I don't know why I know that. I don't know why I know that matters.
It
It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know anything about this stuff. What am I doing? Good God. All right. I'm still fiddling with
I feel
all
like
this
I'm
stuff.
listening to you.
I think she's meant to be. Like, look at this.
That's true.
Look at all this.
That's true. Look at the pen.
She should live here. She's moving in. Fuck it.
Hey, I have the same pen.
I think a lot of people have that pen.
Good
Even
pen.
your drive. What the Brad,
Yeah.
what are you trying to do to me here?
There's my-
She's trying to steal my girl.
There's my Superman shirt right over there.
Blue's a good color.
Blue is
That
a-
exact color of blue is a great color. Yes,
It is.
Eek.
My lord. All right. All right, now you're just getting picky. That's all you're doing.
Getting pecky.
Oh,
a bird.
gosh. Yeah, it's the Twitter logo.
Getting pecky.
Oh, God.
No teeth on it though. Just all lips. Like that.
Well, that just happened. And we know Steve's preference now on...
Of course, chip beef is never a good story.
All right, I think that's the episode title for the evening. Chip beef is never a good story. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, sir.
It's never a good story?
Yeah, never.
I disagree because this is sure a good story. Well, that's as good a place to start as any. But we do have good entrance music.
Every time.
I do like that. It's still very Fleetwood Mac-ish.
Macish for sure.
It's clear and it's cool. It's episode 12 of Apex Live. I'm Brad, that's Steve.
Hello.
If you haven't already been able to tell, we're off to a rousing start tonight. I should probably claim responsibility for part of it. I'm not going to. I have a lot of idiocy to talk about. And a lot of fun things to talk about. Steve, would you like to introduce our special in-studio guest tonight?
Yes, this is my less than significant other, Stephanie Minton. Say hello, Stephanie.
Hello.
You know, I knew I should leave it to you to do the introduction because you would do it justice and
I almost messed it up.
basically do exactly what I expected you to do. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
You are our most prolific listener to this point. You've listened to every episode, and I'm going to grill you about that in the second half of the show. We have so much stupidity to discuss from what's been going on recently. I actually had to go back and look at some of the dumb things that happened during our little hiatus, trying to figure out all of them that we didn't get to talk about. So there's a couple of them we'll talk about a little later, probably in the next episode of things that happened. But we've got even more to talk about tonight. First, let's take care of a little business. If you want to get with us, find out information about all of our episodes, listen to, download all of our episodes, look at guest bios, or just play around with all the stuff that we do, you can do that on the website, apexlive.fireside.fm. You can subscribe to our RSS feed there as well. If you want to reach out with, I don't know, questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, criticisms, angry rants because of something we've said that offended you, apexlivepodcast@gmail.com. We'll answer, and it may not be too nice, or we'll just invite you to come on and Skype with us, and we'll do it as part of an episode, and you can go send that to your friends too. And connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Apex Live Podcast. Steve, what's going on?
Nothing much, just kind of hanging out. Brought Stephanie with me this evening. She didn't realize she was going to actually speak.
Why would you come here and not speak? I mean, we're here. We have microphones set up. We're friendly.
It's so
We're
fun.
nice. We haven't done anything wrong. Oh, I don't want to talk. Oh, well.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Well, could it be that you don't want to talk because you've been eating crickets? Could that have something to do with it?
She starts to chirp.
Yeah, kids. I said
bit.
eating crickets. Steve, why don't you tell me why I'm talking about eating crickets?
So this is, I kind of think about world cuisine here.
Okay.
And I think about going to Bangkok a lot, not just for the lady boys, but the cuisine.
Because you've been watching The Hangover 2 on repeat for the last 2 weeks?
It's been in my mind since I saw it the first time. I noticed, I look at a lot of different Asian cuisine, and I noticed a lot of street food is mostly insects and stuff like that.
Most people, when they think Asian cuisine, they go, I'm going to go have some nice General Tso's chicken from the Chinese buffet.
Cream of some young guy. I mean, it's whatever you want.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I might, isn't that the preferred dish at Penn State and their football program?
I think Dave Markert also likes cream of some young guy. He did mention that on one of the episodes.
Yeah, you know what? He probably did. I'll need to go back and cut a highlight of that. And if not, I can probably edit it to make it sound like that's exactly what he said.
So I went to Pet Supply Plus first to find crickets. They were out of crickets. They weren't getting any until next Thursday.
Heaven forbid.
I took my 8-year-old. We went to the mall and went to, what was that, Pet Supply Plus or something like that? I can't remember what's in the mall.
PetSmart.
PetSmart. Okay.
Yes, PetSmart.
PetSmart.
Well, we still haven't lost their potential sponsorship yet, so continue.
They had a bag of 50 prepared crickets. I asked the young lady for 50 more prepared crickets. Took them to the counter, and the lady said, "What are you feeding with all these crickets?" I was like, a lot of things. I didn't want to tell them that we were going to eat these. So I took them home.
What does prepared mean? I don't understand prepared crickets versus unprepared crickets. Does that mean, did you sneak up on them and they're unprepared? But if they're prepared, you warn them first? We're going
prepared.
to eat you.
They were double prepared. They knew that
3 days.
They're called feeder crickets. They know what they're about.
Okay.
So they're like,
I'm just trying to clarify. I'm new to all this.
So what I did is my staff that does all my research, Stephanie, also my secretary, she figured all this out. I asked her to Google some recipes. So she said, there are intestinal worms in these. You can actually YouTube these. There are intestinal worms that come out that are 2 and 3 times as large as the animal that they're in.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely stunned.
They're like proboscis. They're just crazy. It's weird animals. So she said 220 for 20 minutes. I put it 375. I put a little bit of butter on them, a little bit of garlic salt.
Nobody likes bland, soggy crickets.
No, sir.
That ruins my day.
I did. So I put them in a pile with butter. 5 minutes, 375. Open the oven back up, flip them. 5 minutes, 375. Turn them again. Repeated 2 more times until they're crunchy like
popcorn.
Like a popcorn or like a pumpkin seed.
Yeah,
I removed them. They're crunchy.
I kind of figured they would turn on their own once you put them in the oven. They'd start kind of bouncing around.
Pop. No, none of the popping. So I ate the first couple, and I was like, wow, these are actually really, really good. And my 8-year-old, I let him try some.
Mm-hmm. He joined us last week until he passed out.
Yes. My 3-year-old daughter, she tried them next.
She doesn't know any better.
Stephanie, the 27-year-old female, was forced. I kind of cussed at her a little bit.
Okay, saying that you were forced to do anything in the current climate might be a little tone deaf, so we're going to say you were coerced.
She was coerced.
Yeah, you were coerced.
But she actually fell in love and ate 2 more. Then came my ultra fear 5-year-old Calder. He tried some, and he loves them now. So I made the other 50 batch, but They're really, they taste like pumpkin seeds, maybe like a chicken flavor. Really good, actually.
Okay.
So the 2 billion people that eat crickets in this world, I applaud you, and they're really, really good.
Okay, but the 2 billion people who eat crickets don't live here.
No, because they have a different sense of nutrition. It's what you're brought up with.
That's that's very true. But the 2 billion who eat them don't live here. So I'm gonna guess, and just because I know how most of these companies operate, as soon as you searched cricket recipes, you were put on a list of some sort because they said, "Wait a minute, we got a guy in the United States that's searching for crickets."
Oh shit.
Okay, can we double check here and cross reference and see if he was also searching the Anarchist Cookbook?
Actually, that's where I started, Anarchist Cookbook.
I would say that cricket recipes are probably in the back of the Anarchist Cookbook, right in that special edition.
So
that extra section you get for paying the extra $5.
So in a roundabout way, okay, I was I get my news from you, and that is what it is. I don't understand what's going on in the world unless we hit on something on accident.
Right.
You are my filter in this world.
We've had enough of the mainstream media as a whole, and you hate pop culture, and you have every reason to. We live in a world now where Kim Kardashian is doing photo ops in the White House with our president because she is speaking to him about prison reform.
What? Just because she's probably nailed about everybody in Southern California in prison doesn't mean she knows anything about prison reform.
Well,
just saying.
As Joel McHale famously said, this is someone who is only famous for having a big ass and a sex tape.
And taking a big, large wiener.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically the only reason anyone knows who she is.
And they're actually supposedly O.J. Simpson's kids. Like, there's a big area in there. They're actually not even Kardashian's kids. Supposedly, they're O.J. Simpson's kids.
I don't care whose genetic material they have. I just know that I hate them all. And if you could just take a 747 and put
a penis
the entire Kardashian family and, I don't know, Lady Gaga. You know, Kanye's starting to be a little bit more acceptable, so I'll let him not get on the plane. Mm-hmm. But Bryce Harper from the Washington Nationals, Kent Herbeck, we'll put him on there because I hate him. Kirby Puckett's already dead.
J.R. Smith from the Cavaliers.
Boy, does he look stupid right now. But we just need to fill a plane with all these people and just fill the gas tank about a quarter full and send it.
Fucking fingernails. Look at her fingernails.
Well, that doesn't really... Oh, my gosh. They're blue, too. This is turning into an episode of Arrested Development.
Damn it.
But we just need to put all of these people on a 747 and then fill it up about a quarter tank full of gas or whatever they use.
To kill all the people that had their AIDS research in the world, yes.
And then let the pilot parachute out.
Are you Asian?
And let it... yes, Steve, I am. Thank you for getting that stereotype out of the way, too.
Yes, sir.
Let the pilot parachute out and then let the thing crash. And I guarantee you, everyone in that moment will look up and say, hey, I think I just felt the average IQ of the world go up about 3 points.
Yeah, I think it would be better than that.
They're all gone.
To cuckold all of them.
Yes, what was it? Raise my seed.
Raise my seed, it will hate you. I think we should just cuckold all of them, and they will like, my kid hates me.
We are going to do an Apex Live.
Bryce Harper would be the best.
Merchandise line.
He sucks at baseball.
And that's going to be the statement on the back. It's just going to say, raise my seed, it will hate you. And unless you've listened to that episode, you have no idea what it means.
How about just a shirt that says Cuckold the World?
Oh my gosh. That's a really good idea.
That's world domination.
I think we just found our first t-shirt, Cuckold the World. It still sounds like something from Game of Thrones. I swear it does. Game of Thrones 300, one of those centuries ago fantasy world kind of things. You can just see somebody with a beard and a cloak yelling that at someone that they don't like.
You think you have taken my kingdom?
See? You've got the voice down for it.
I have cuckolded your kingdom.
Man, it's a good thing we don't have the money or the equipment to make short films, because if we did, well, we'd be all over the news. I can tell you that right now.
Everything in the world must be cuckolded. The truth may never be set free.
Where did you come up with this?
Because that's what I really want to do. Like, that's what I think about all the time. If I see somebody that I don't like, I'm like, you're such an asshole. I would love to cuckold you.
Okay, so you're driving.
Cut somebody off and somebody
All
cut
day.
the traffic. Yeah.
All day, you are driving through populated areas, densely populated areas. You're driving through some sparse areas.
Jerry Springerville.
You're surrounded by people. Sometimes there's no one around you. And no matter what, you're just sitting around thinking, I want to cuckold all of you.
Dude, like, that's the worst insult. Like, you're raising somebody else's child. That's horrible. Why does he not like me? He doesn't listen. He hates me. Why? Because he's not yours. He's mine.
Well, we'd like to apologize to all of the
franchises,
all of the step parents in our listening audience.
You have been cuckolded.
Okay, if you want to send us email, again, that's apexlivepodcast@gmail.com. Subject line, attention, Steve. I'll make sure that it goes right to it, and we'll read it on the air, and Steve will...
Cuckold you.
Yes, Steve will cuckold you, and then he'll respond to it, and honestly, both of them will be equally hilarious. So, while we were taking a break between the last episode and now, it's been about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. One of the big stories that we dealt with was President Trump. And as soon as I say that, lights and sirens start going off in some people's heads.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but please inform me.
You do know. I think you do know about this one.
I don't know. What you know?
He did something that really should have happened for about the last 20 presidential administrations, and he pardoned former heavyweight champion Jack Johnson. Who
One
was
of my favorites.
He was the first black heavyweight champion in the history of the sport. He was champion from 1908 to 1915.
Smashing all kinds of Caucasian women.
Yes, he sure did. In a time where...
Chicago.
In a time where that would get you killed. It really would. If he wouldn't have been the world heavyweight champion, it would have gotten him killed. But he was arrested on some really trumped-up charges.
Trumped-up charges.
I didn't even mean to do that. But all those years ago, he was arrested on some trumped-up charges and ended up fleeing the law for about 7 years. Eventually comes back, turns himself in, serves, I don't know, less than a year, something like that. And it really, none of it ever should have happened. Obviously, the culture of the time contributed to what went on. But no one ever really thought to pardon him and to get rid of that and kind of wipe it. And obviously, it'd be done posthumously. He's been dead for years. He died in a car wreck whenever he was in his 50s.
Was that like the
or maybe
40s
early,
or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. It was early. I think he was in his early 60s when he died in a car wreck.
40s or early 50s.
Yeah.
Because he was he was still fighting in the 30s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. He fought until he was in his early 50s.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, and he really did revolutionize the sport, and we'll talk a little bit about that, too. But finally, it was, of all presidents, it's the one who's getting accused of being a Nazi and a racist, and everyone hates him. I'm not going to sit here and try to defend or attack Donald Trump, but there are certain things in this world that when they happen, you need to just kind of say, okay, good one, and applaud, because it's a good thing, and he's the one who did it. For years, the Congressional Black Caucus has gone out of their way.
Black Caucus?
Yes. and the Kardashians' ears just perked up and they started clicking download on our show. I don't know why that happened. Boy, you are really doing the Foley thing tonight, aren't you? But, I mean, let's be honest about this. The Congressional Black Caucus, all of these leaders for years have been requesting, let's do this. Why isn't this happening?
I have a question before you keep going.
Oh, dear God.
Is the Black Caucus bigger than the White Caucus?
Yeah, but just barely, and I think that's a myth.
Okay.
I think that's a myth.
Just wondering. Flaccid or hard?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not doing the science on this. Good Lord.
Sorry. Give me margarita.
I'm rocking a size 15, that's all I'm going to say. But he did. He stepped up, and he issued this pardon. Those in Congress for years, the black leadership, have gone to every president and said, this is something we'd like to see happen. Not one of them. Not one stepped up and did anything about this. Barack Obama didn't do it. Bush 43 didn't do it. Clinton didn't do it. Bush 41, Reagan, Carter. For God's sake, Gerald Ford, who nobody voted for, pardoned Richard Nixon. And we couldn't pardon Jack Johnson. So Trump jumps up and does it, and I think it's great. What's the first thing that happens? Of course, everyone politicizes it and says, well, it's really no big deal. This was just a token move.
It's kind of funny, though, if you really think about it, because, and I understand, I think it's a good thing personally, as I think, but the importance of as everyday movement, for that to be like even on the thought process. I mean, I understand it's something that's kind of it's definitely progressive in a different fashion. But
Sure.
how does that really move society? And do I care? But who really cares? I mean, 99% of the population have no idea who Jack Johnson is or was.
Not at all. Well, the one reason that I do think it's good
Except
is
for Ken
because
Burns. He probably was in Trump's ear.
a lot of people, actually the one who made this happen was Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, wow.
He was there. He was in the Oval Office when it happened. Whenever he signed the pardon, Deontay Wilder was there. A lot of Johnson's
Johnson would have beat his ass.
His descendants are there. Yeah, Jack Johnson would have murdered Deontay
He would have
Wilder.
murder.
But you look at all that and how it happened, and then the outcry, that just shows you the actual motivations of people. Because if you take this exact happening, this exact event, the pardon, the circumstances surrounding it, everything, and you cross out Donald Trump, and you replace it with literally anyone else, especially Barack Obama. And this is one of the greatest victories for our society in decades. And because he did it, somehow it's empty, it's vapid, it's worthless, it's somehow politically motivated for him.
But how is that? I mean, really, in actuality, like we said, the actual base that understands what that means and understands what was happening at that time to even know who Jack Johnson was. I mean, you know, I'm sure Trump being an older man, he probably knows his father talking about it, maybe, possibly, you know, in a grand scheme of things. So maybe he does understand what he did. I don't think you're going to get too much publicity from doing that at that level now, you know, but it was the right thing, I think, to do.
Oh, it very much is the right thing to do, and I'm glad it was done. But one thing that this proves to me is something that I think we've all known for a long time, and that's that this country, this is just more evidence, this country more than anything else loves one thing, and that's bickering and division. And instead of coming together for 30 seconds and saying, hey, good job. And he did something else that we're going to talk about later on, probably in the next show. He recently did something else. He signed the right to try legislation. And that's something that should be, I don't want to hear bipartisan, because that's buying into the two-party system, which I hate anyway.
It's bullshit.
Non-partisan.
Bullshit.
There should be no partisan anything in this.
No, it's the betterment of the people, and it should always be the betterment of the people.
Everyone should have leapt to their feet and said, oh, well, this is common sense.
It's good stuff.
This should happen. What's the immediate first thing that happens?
Oh, he did this for blah, blah, blah.
Oh, this is pointless. No, what's pointless is having an FDA that's basically bought and paid for by everyone that generates money.
We were talking about the FDA today.
So sick.
Me and Stephanie were.
If there's two organizations that either need to be retooled or completely just blown up and started over, it's the FDA and the IRS.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you what, I'll throw in another one, the FCC, because I detest the FCC.
Oh, they suck ass.
That's why we're podcasting and not somewhere else, although we really should be on radio for about 2 hours a day.
They would love it. I'm telling you. I mean, it is what it is. But
I think
I'd listen to it.
Our listeners need to start bombarding radio stations that do talk radio and say, you need more original local programming. You need to listen to this podcast. I'm pretty sure if you have a 7-second delay button, we can really generate 2 hours a day.
Our radio stations, and just, I don't know if anybody's aware of what we have here. It's country or pop. Maybe you can get some scrambled rock or whatever. Maybe some oldies, but it's
most of it comes out of Charleston.
It's shit, and Charleston is shit.
Well, the best radio stations that we have are probably the ones that they pipe everything in on a satellite, and it's 80s and 90s adult contemporary.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the only worthwhile channels we have. And I know that saying that probably isn't going to make many friends amongst the radio stations that we're trying to get a spot on, but hey, we're trying to help you because you need to listen to the consumers. And we're not only consumers, we're also producers. So they need to listen to what we have to say. Another news story that kind of, every week we're just ADHD. We're all over the place. We bounce around like a Super Bowl in a phone booth.
Brad.
Yes, sir.
I'm ADHD 100% of the day.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my mom.
Well,
she'll tell you. She might hit on you a little bit too, but she'll tell you.
I'm not going to ask your mom anything because I'm too disturbed by some of the subject matter she likes to discuss.
You do
from
radio?
What I've been told.
You do radio? Can I get on?
Okay, can we avoid that sentence, please, when talking about your mother?
I love her, but she's She's definitely a 1-800 number voice. She does that.
Yeah, we know. As we've heard already 5 times, Mom's a hoe.
Dave's mom.
Oh, my God.
I love you, Dave, but you've told me a lot of things, and my mom and your mom, that's where we get along.
Oh, God in heaven, what have I done?
I love you, Dave.
What have I done? Okay. Well, pulling the e-brake and making a hard left turn back into something resembling sanity. We had another incident, this time in Oklahoma a week or 2 ago. Another idiot walks into a building, decides he wants to kill a bunch of people. And someone, a good guy with a gun, jumps up, shoots him. 2 people injured, 1 dead. The only one dead is the perpetrator who went in and did it. So a special FU to David Hogg, the loudmouth idiot, who we don't even really know for sure if he was a survivor of that thing in Florida.
What happens to his nose when he gets mad? It like disappears at the top. Like, how's it happen? That's where the bone is.
That's a really good point.
It's like he kind of looks like a little, I don't know, like a
He's like a reverse
Play-Doh fucking person or something, like a weird little claymation when he does this shit.
He's like a reverse Pinocchio. It goes back in.
Reverse. When he's a piece of shit, his nose disappears.
He's such a douche, and he's such a mouthpiece for people that just want to spew the same agenda no matter what. And I get the feeling that if you put him in a situation where he couldn't read off of a prompter or a prepared statement, he would be in deep trouble.
Didn't they have him as a crisis actor or some shit, like some other people involved?
That's been the conspiracy theory.
And that's my theory.
That kind of stuff, because
I love that shit.
I don't know. The guy looks like he's about 24 years old half the time.
Now, you know what we need to hear? We need to hear a nice Alex Jones impression, please.
I'm not going to get into Alex Jones! I know that's one of your favorites.
What happens if somebody touches your fries?
Is this what you're going to do? You're just going to set me up?
Just one time.
You don't ever touch another man's fries. Thank you. Keith David,
yes,
everyone.
yes. The great Keith David.
Oh, my Lord.
What about the Navy commercials? They're great. Here's another shooting brought to you by Beckley.
I don't know. Was that... Well, that's either an ambulance or a cop, but either way, they're going to the same place in our town.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, I think the dealers that used to live on my street, I know they were dealers because they always had 4 new cars and 3 motorcycles, and I never saw them go anywhere like work. But
work at all.
Yeah, the house is vacant. They're gone now, and I couldn't be happier because that saves me from having to go through Grand Theft Auto on it. And
is that right across from the road that I can never pull out? Right across from you?
No, it's on up the street.
Okay.
No, there are people in the cars in the houses.
Okay, I was wondering because I know that I'm almost like it's
there's always cars there. This other one is up there, and there's nobody there anymore, and I could not be happier. But speaking of David Hogg and his stupidity, he organized last week, and I know you probably haven't heard of this, and this is why I wanted to bring this to you because
we've landed on the moon.
I want to get your reaction to this. David Hogg orchestrated a die-in.
What the fuck?
Yeah, at a Publix supermarket, because Publix supermarket
I love Publix.
Yeah, they are a donor to the NRA.
Really big grocery chain in the southern part.
And amazingly good meatball subs.
They have really good meat produce and everything else. In Florida, I went to Publix all the time.
Yeah, they're pretty well known down there. So he orchestrates a die-in where he gets all of these people to go in there and lay down in the supermarket as if they're dead to, I guess, raise awareness and send a message to the NRA and all this crap. You know, call me crazy, but I live a fairly busy life. I have a lot to do. And I'm not going to be too happy if I'm trying to go to the supermarket in some of my spare time, and I have a bunch of idiots laying in the aisles.
Was that a flash mob of dead people?
Basically, yes.
Those go over well.
And you know what I would like to do? I would like to just go to one of these things with cleats or track spikes on and just run wind sprints up and down the aisles and just send a message of how utterly stupid this is and all of these people are.
You could teabag them.
I am not going to, because that would require actual physical contact and effort with these people.
I'm talking about video game teabag, like just kind of like squat on their head like you're like just killed them or something.
Oh my! Okay, what video games are you playing,
Now-
Ring King?
Now this is what they did. My brother showed me this, and I didn't. He was a Halo 2 pro at one time. So if you kill somebody, you run up to them and you just kind of squat and stand up real fast. It looks like you're teabagging them, but you're not. So I would love to teabag them just because they're fucking pathetic. Sorry, David Hogg,
You know,
Devil Hog,
it's kind of difficult to
Boss Hog.
It's kind of difficult to convey a face palm just with sound on radio. But my God, I hope you know what I've got going on in my head right now. Oh my Lord. I've never heard of video game teabagging.
It is beautiful.
Well, I'm sure
It fucking pisses you off because the reason why it makes you mad is because when you die,
Yeah.
you can still see your dead body, and somebody comes along, and you're like, oh, they're not going to be a piece of shit, and they start teabagging you when you're down dead, and you just see them humping your head. It's like, it's bad. It's really bad. It's really, really, it's extremely disrespectful, and it makes you want to kill them. Stephanie knows what I'm talking about. She plays a game called Player Battlegrounds Unknown, and they do the same thing.
Okay, wait a minute.
Vastly popular
Hey, wait a minute. You play
RPG.
Is it PUBG?
Yeah.
PUBG.
You play PUBG.
I play
I do.
PUBG.
All right, get up to the mic. I got to talk to you about
We
this.
play PUBG.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I've saved her ass before.
okay, so you're a PUBG player. That is basically a really hyped up version of Fortnite.
Yes.
It's much
For the
better.
most part, yeah.
Much better.
Okay, so,
So
what
much
do you
better.
what do you play this on? Do you play it on PC? Do you play it on console? Do you play it on your
Mobile.
phone? You play it on your phone.
I do.
She's good.
Okay. All right. So tell me
That's good.
about your style. Tell me how good you are. What you do with this?
I like to hide.
She's a fucking
Okay.
camper.
So you're
She's a camper.
You're a camper. You're a camper and a sniper, and you're one of these people that everyone else hates
I
because
like
you
to
go sit and hide.
to the shooter's range or the what is it?
military base.
Military base, and I load up on stuff, and then I hide, and then I win.
You're the one that everyone hates.
I am.
Because you're the one that everyone else is playing the game straight up, and they're thinking, "All right, I see the map.
One
There's
more
only
motherfucker."
there's only one other person left,
And it's me, and I find them, and I kill them.
and they're running around going, I don't hear them. I've got this 3D audio. I've got an $1,100 headset. I don't know. Boom! Yeah,
Yep,
it's
that's me.
Stephanie.
Yep.
It's Stephanie that did it. Yeah, guaranteed.
I win all the time.
So we
Awesome.
team up. Actually, we do it 2-on-2.
Okay, so you play on mobile too.
I completely get away from her. I extract as many weapons and armor as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I find a vehicle, and then I find her ass. So either she supports me, or I kill a bunch of people around her, and then she forgets somebody, and then I die. But she's really good on her own.
It's been a while since we've talked.
Really good on her own.
We haven't talked video games on here in a while, but that's more of a new
And I
video
did
game than
see
anything we play.
an Intellivision part where they were playing games. I saw that one you shared.
Yeah, we've
Those
got.
guys are pretty good. Like I like what they do.
There's some big Intellivision news. Intellivision is being
Another console they're bringing out.
rebooted.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm one of the first people to sign up for updates, so I've got
Sweet.
access to a limited edition thing. But it's actually pretty cool what they're going to be doing. But okay, I got to get back to this. You're a gamer.
I am. I
So-
like certain games.
Okay, so tell me your gaming background.
My gaming background.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of a gaming background.
Well, if
I
you're
like
playing
Mario.
okay, that's fine. But you're playing
I
PUBG.
love Call of Duty.
Okay.
What part of Call of Duty do you like?
Prop hunt.
Okay, what is that? I'm not a Call of Duty player.
Oh, it's where you are a prop. Like you can be furniture or
Something on the map,
something on the map.
like furniture, bullets, or just
So
something random.
you're an object.
An object,
And
yes.
it's like hide and go seek. You have to hide.
They find you and shoot you.
That's part of the game.
Yes.
it's a different-
It's a party game.
Yeah.
It's fun. But they changed it. They just had an upgrade. An update.
Uh-huh.
Where now you can be a zombie. It's pretty awesome.
What in the so it's the Walking Dead?
Yeah, like first you start out as a person and you're hunting zombies, and then they come up and axe, like they take their axe and they kill you, and then you're a zombie, and then you attack people.
Okay, so did you know that there are no racist zombies?
That is true.
Did you know that?
She
I
knows
do.
this. She has to know this.
Episode
that.
episode 2 for those of you
CIA,
who
NSA.
need to go back. Episode 2 is the one who that's the episode where we went into
She blew Snowden once.
all that.
But I'm a big Mario
what?
fan.
Blew Snowden.
Okay, is that BLUE or BLEW?
BLEW. She blew Snowden.
Is it worse whenever you're here and you're not listening to it after the fact, or is it worse whenever you're listening to it after the fact and you weren't here to defend yourself, physically or verbally?
I don't mind listening.
Or are you
to
just
it.
used to it now?
I'm used to Steve.
Yeah.
I
comments
sense
are all day
chipped
long.
beef tonight. I'm just saying.
Sir, you may be lucky to get chipped beef.
His comments are all day long, so
You may have to prove yourself to be quite handy tonight.
I practice this. I'm extremely handy. Extremely handy.
Well, practice makes perfect. Know your strengths. One more thing that really just... Oh man, did it frustrate me. This really made me mad. Someone brought back via retweet something that someone had posted, and I didn't know this. I thought it had been recent. It was done in 2014, but now it's starting to circulate again. This idiot, and that's the only way to say it, gets on Twitter, which is either the best or the worst sports bar you've ever attended in your life, depending on when you jump on and start reading, and says this: ban Father's Day.
I think I saw something about it. It's fucking stupid as shit.
Ban Father's Day. Do you know why ban Father's Day?
Because it's sexist?
Because it's offensive to same-sex parents
They can't actually ejaculate in somebody's body and create a fucking baby.
and single moms.
That had somebody ejaculate in their fucking body.
Yes, that's correct. So it's offensive to same-sex parents and single moms, and it's all about the patriarchy. End the patriarchy.
You have to destroy the male to actually have a true supposed society. So, I mean, let's destroy the male even more.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you destroy all males and see how well that goes in about, I don't know, a generation?
See if you can build me a fucking house. That'd be nice.
Well, in Vegas, try scoring a boxing match and not scoring at 10-2 for Canelo.
Oh, that piece of shit. Yeah, I remember that. Miss Byrd or whatever.
Adalaide Byrd.
Miss Byrd.
But,
Bird is a word.
you know, I see that. There wasn't enough backlash. And there was a lot of backlash. The only good part of this...
I would have put a fucking hit out on her ass. I'm just saying. She would have got Russian mafia.
Well, the
all
only
day
good
long.
part of this is at least she's not from the United States. At least Canada has to put up with her nonsense. And then you look in her bio, she's also an avowed socialist.
She didn't even know what the damn match was about. She couldn't score it. She didn't know.
Oh, just go take your socialism and move into a commune with Bernie Sanders and leave the rest of us alone.
She judged it by the metric system. I think that's what fucked it all up.
I don't like the metric system. You leave my miles and my inches and all this stuff alone.
She traveled many kilometers to actually score that match. So, I mean, it happens.
Are we just going to trot out everything we know about the metric system right now?
I don't know shit about it.
I don't either.
Especially conversion.
I had to learn it. I think we all did.
Yeah.
In like 8th grade math.
How much did you remember?
How much of it have I ever used? The only time you ever use it is whenever you're trying to find the right socket for your ratchet.
Fuck that. If it fits, it fits.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have a bunch of them, until I put the right one on there and it doesn't fit.
Yeah, do any of us
fit.
ever really look and see what the size is? No, we just start fiddling with it and putting them on there until we go, oh, okay, that'll work.
Every day at work, baby.
Start turning it.
Every day at work.
Your work days must be incredibly interesting.
Oh, gosh. I went to what I consider Jerry Springer house the other day. Somebody, I know they had set down or laid something down on their oven lid because it was actually going past the flat pattern all the way about 4 inches down below. So there was a lady that I came in. She couldn't move her
Dave,
foot.
That's Dave phrasing right there.
It was horrible.
No, that's Dave phrasing.
I've been punched a few times. Okay,
For those listeners who need to go back and figure out what he just said,
I can smell.
I'll run that back for you during the break, and
Run
you
it
can hear
back.
what you just said, and that is Dave phrasing.
Fucking Dave. But I can still smell. But
That's
so
true.
I walk
Advantage Steve.
I walk into the that's one extra sense.
That way you
So
can fully taste the crickets.
that shit. Yeah. How do you know what a cricket tastes like if you can't smell it?
Are you going to cuckold the crickets?
No, fuck that. There's many of them. I don't need to. I don't eat my own babies. Stephanie does. I'm just playing.
Oh my lord! Please,
She doesn't either.
please, for God's sake, continue.
So I walk into this trailer home, and there's a lady on the couch or recliner. She says she can't move her foot. She says she had back surgery. So I have a little heartfelt. I'm like, well, I'm sorry to hear that. So I go to look at the stove, the lid. It ends up being, some hinges or whatever. They're bent. So I was like, we need to replace these. So I have to order them. I don't have them on me. So her and her mother that comes from the back door, they're cussing at this 12-year-old like he's just being the biggest piece of shit ever. They're talking about somebody talking on some phone or answering it when they're not supposed to. And they're just cussing each other out the whole time. This is her mother.
Wow.
Obviously, they're all doped up on some pills. It was great.
This is Springer time.
This was as soon as they started going, I was like, fucking Springer House. So, I mean, she's cussing her daughter out. Don't you answer that phone? And the daughter's like, stop screening my calls. And it's just bad. And they both apologized to me. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, run quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
But I was like, before I left, I was like, which one of these chicks might blow me? I was playing.
I mean, really, at what point are you looking at that thinking, I'm going to get out of here? I don't care how much I'm getting paid. I'm getting out of here because I don't want to be a material witness in a case or be on the worst episode of Cops ever produced.
I was thinking, I was like, the one in the wheelchair probably gives everybody else the pills. So she has a reason to be an asshole. But everybody's getting tired of her being an asshole even for a reason and still take her fucking pills.
Okay, so I gotta know, what county was this in?
It was still in, I guess you consider Raleigh County. It was in Naoma.
I think Naoma is in Raleigh County.
It's a shithole.
I don't know if we claim
it's like
it.
Eccles. It's just a butthole.
No, we have already established that the butthole of our state is Williamson.
What? Now, what about Welch? Is that like one of the wrinkles on the butthole? Because I've seen some bad...
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
maybe that's one of the arms of the starfish. Are we really using this imagery right now?
It's like a really... I can see a butthole in my mind.
Are.
It's not peach either. It's kind of like bluish color. It's horrible.
I'm going to have such a hard time figuring out what the episode title is. Butthole in my mind is a really good option, too. Or would that be more like mental butthole?
The mental butthole. But it definitely is a butthole, probably of the United States, actually.
We have a listener.
That's the asshole of the United States is Welch.
We have a listener who laughs hysterically every time she hears the word butthole. So if she listens to this episode, she's going to hyperventilate and pass out when she gets to
Who
this
is this?
part. Ashley.
Oh, okay.
Our Georgia correspondent.
She's met Ashley?
Yes.
Stephanie's met Ashley?
That's our Georgia correspondent. She submits rants every now and again.
Her rant was good. The first one,
that was a good
one
rant.
so far.
Yeah, she's supposed to submit another one, but she needs to...
wait for football season?
Well, no, that's the thing. I think she wants to rant about something sports related, but she can rant about anything. So just go ahead and start ranting about politics or stupid people or terrible drivers.
Pill mills.
When you're surrounded by morons, which if you live anywhere in this country right now, you're probably surrounded by morons.
Fuck.
You've got a lot of horrible things you can say about a lot of stupid people. I'm not making a case for us to have a radio show that caters to the general public, but at least then, if they don't like it, they can just call in on the hotline. And,
maybe we can straighten these bastards out a little bit.
Well, somebody's got to. Unless we do a show in San Francisco, in which case all hope is lost.
How to speak vagina. I mean, how to speak San Francisco.
How to speak San Francisco.
Vagina.
For those of you who don't get that, that's the movie Basketball from Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Trey Parker, yep.
From South Park. Maybe one of the most underrated films of the 90s. And if you love South Park and haven't seen that and Orgasmo, and what's the third one that they did? Team America World Police.
Yeah.
Oh, those are three of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah, if you can't remember the bar scene, it's the best ever.
The bar scene's hilarious. The scene when they're watching him after he's been taken hostage, and it's signal if you need help or something, and he starts waving his arms. Oh gosh, why are we talking about movies with marionettes and
because I have
and
ADD.
The Film Actors Guild?
My ADD is so strong it actually is. It's kind of like Wi-Fi. That shit's like a cone. It'll hit you. You'll develop it.
Is it like that kind of a cone, or is it the kind of cone that you put around a dog's neck so it can't start biting itself after surgery?
No, because that's actually directional. No, this is just fucking...
Oh, this is like a broadcast signal.
It's
satellite.
It's omnidirectional.
Yeah, it's omnidirectional.
Not even line of sight. It goes everywhere.
It's polyretardation. You're going to get it. It's going to happen.
All right, that's it. That's the episode title. It's poly retardation. You're going to get it. That is the episode title. Okay, well, I think that's as good of a place to take a break as any. That's page 1. Page 2 coming up. This is episode 12 of Apex Live. We'll be right back.
The 70s. No, that's YouTube.
Yes, this is Cielo by Huma Huma. As
Definitely
Steve,
Spanish.
As Steve gyrates. We gotta have a little gyration as we rejoin.
It's up and down motion, not gyration.
Second half of episode 12 of Apex Live. I'm Brad. That's Margarita Steve.
We got Dove Minton over here.
What's the dove thing?
Because Robin's a bird, a dove is a bird. Her last name's Minton, not Quivers. Dove Minton.
Well, I think we know what I'm going to put in part of her bio as a guest. I wonder if we could get a Dove sponsorship.
You want me to make her cry so you know what it sounds like when doves cry?
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, bad. I've seen doves cry.
Apparently, we don't have to wait too long. Hey, Steve.
Yes.
We have a vegan news update just for you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we do.
Officially, I'm not a vegan anymore. I ate a fucking cricket today, so everybody doesn't eat furry animals. Fuck you.
He ate a cricket.
Eat a cricket.
Actually, you didn't eat a cricket. You ate multiple crickets.
You could eat the cricket and the dick that comes on the cricket.
How many crickets did you eat?
Officially, I ate like 98 cricket dicks today, so that's pretty good. And whatever shit they had still in their body was pretty good.
So, but that you didn't eat the whole cricket. That's the only part of the cricket.
The whole
you
fucking
ate.
cricket.
I was going to say because you'd need a lot of those to fill up.
Yeah, I ate a lot.
and all.
I like 80 crickets. Everybody else stole like 20 of my crickets.
They didn't steal them. You willfully offered them, and they accepted.
Children are like, I don't know. They're fucking. They're like
they're what?
Parasites. They steal from you, and you don't want them to, but you still give it to them because you don't have a choice.
You were honestly the second person that I know that has referred to children as parasites.
Who's the other one?
Dave.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have any kids.
Yeah, but he gave the scientific definition of why a child was technically a parasite.
Oh, parasitic twin. I understand.
Whatever. I mean, that I've really just got to adopt that as my new
She's a
stance on
parasitic.
almost
Are you a
everything.
parasitic twin? She's a parasitic twin. My brother Justin's a parasitic twin.
Okay, let's hope that I never get looked at in the way that she just looked at you.
She's a fucking parasite. She ate her twin.
I did not eat my twin. My twin died.
And you consumed their protein. You're a parasitic. You ate your parasitic twin.
Well, you're getting the middle finger. Is that true?
No, my twin was in the tubes, so.
Tubal pregnancy, but you still consume their flesh. You're a fucking cannibal.
I'm just going to let that
So you're
silence.
trying to say
Technically, there's like a big story. Like, my mom had to go have surgery over the baby, and then turns out I was still there. Hey!
So you
Hanging
were
out.
you were a surprise, but a totally different kind of surprise.
A big surprise.
That was a major surprise,
Like
a surgical surprise.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
shit! There's a
baby
thanks.
gone. Hey, there's still one.
I am.
I kind of wish I would have went with the other one though.
Okay, I need a little drink of water. Nice little palate cleanser. And for the first time in decades, I'm thinking, hey, maybe a margarita, because something's got to make this stop and go away.
Mexicans make some badass margaritas, by the way.
Well, I'm glad. It's kind of a Mexican thing.
Yeah, fucking Mexicans rule.
Well, it's not a real Mexican restaurant unless you walk in and soccer's on TV.
The only other Mexican I really, really like is Gennady Golovkin.
So you didn't like Marco Antonio Barrera. You didn't like Eric
No.
Morales.
No.
Marco Antonio Barrera is one of my favorite
He's pretty good.
fighters ever. Top 5. When he got Nassim Hamed in the full Nelson
Oh.
and rammed him headfirst into the ring post,
He
it's
beat
one
the
of the
shit out of Nassim Hamed.
he wrecked his career, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
You can't get away with that shit forever.
Well, and somehow we go from that to your vegan update,
Vegan update. Let's hear it.
courtesy of the Washington Post.
Oh, I don't know if I trust it now. It might not be actually be a vegan update.
5 dead and nearly 200 sick from an E. coli outbreak
Lettuce.
from lettuce.
I don't eat fucking lettuce. That's for people that don't
See?
like vegans.
I love lettuce.
Okay, so Steph, are you a meat eater?
I am.
Stop it, Steve. Stop it. I can see it. I can see it.
I'm not vegan.
You're not vegan, so you do enjoy eating meat.
She has no willpower.
Have you noticed that at no point? And by the way, I'm showing you the article here on the Kindle. Investigators are stumped. Notice that nowhere in here do they say, see tainted vegetables.
What's somebody do? Throw shit on the fucking lettuce
foodborne
patch?
illnesses, something about the FDA, Southern California. Well, California, there's your first explanation.
I don't get mine.
But all of these different things, nowhere in here does it say anything that it was caused by like ground beef or chicken or fish. Or pork or ham.
Wash your fucking hands after you take a shit before you pick lettuce.
Like a nice or better yet, just say, oh man, there's some romaine lettuce that's got trouble here. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna have some nice power greens, some baby spinach.
I eat spinach only.
Kale,
I don't ever eat lettuce, do I?
And some
He doesn't.
Some chard and some mizuna. Or better yet, I tell you what, take that baby spinach and kale, and maybe replace that with some bacon. I think that'll be the right thing. That's my favorite kind of salad. Instead of baby spinach and kale, it's bacon. And instead of the Swiss chard and lettuce and cucumber, it's ground beef. And then instead of croutons, it's a bun. That's my favorite salad ever. And I eat one probably 2 or 3 times a week.
That's good.
Good bacon cheeseburger.
I love burgers.
Is that what they call that?
I buy some.
Sounds like to me, yeah.
I buy some bacon.
I think it's a ground beef and burger and cheese and bread salad. I think that's what that is.
Hey, you have tomato and lettuce on it though most of the time.
That's what my son
No,
loves.
absolutely not.
Cheeseburgers.
The 5-year-old ate a cheeseburger for breakfast today, like he always does.
That's awesome. That's how you do that.
He's an asshole. I love him though.
That's how you do that.
He's really smart.
Well, he's got the dietary stuff down. He knows what's up.
Yeah,
that's your vegan update. Because if you keep eating nothing but vegetables, you're going to get E. coli from California and die.
Hey, guess what? I do composite type things that make up a burger substance that is really good. It's more soy based and everything else. It's really good. She ate it today.
Man,
She ate
Steve's
it.
a soy boy.
A soy boy. That's probably why I don't hit as hard anymore. But eating soy, my titties are getting bigger.
It's all that estrogen production.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, I have a question. If this is from California, wouldn't it then technically become E. cali?
E. cali. I got E. cali.
Instead of E. coli? Oh, these
Sounds
are
like
the
colon. That's probably because most E. coli comes from shit.
Yeah, it does.
So E. colon.
That's what I think of just about every salad I've ever had anywhere that I didn't make myself. That's what I thought it was.
Even if it says don't wash it because it's already been pre-washed, wash that shit.
Oh my gosh.
Because people don't wash their hands and they like to wipe their ass a lot. So.
There are a lot of different Steves. I think Margarita Steve is one of my favorite Steves.
Hey,
His
Margarita.
personalities.
I do. She actually will elaborate on multiple.
He's like a box.
I'm not.
He's like what?
He's like a box. There's like
A vagina.
all kinds
is what
of
she's saying.
different personalities.
He's a
for him.
polygon. He has many sides.
Oh,
A
polygon.
poly
work.
Steve.
I say a box or a square.
Call me a square.
Well, we're very fond of 80s music and culture on this program. So, as you know, we believe that it's hip to be square.
I'm a box
There
of
you go.
fucking chocolates. Is basically what she's trying to say.
Never know what you're gonna get.
Never know what you're
Boy,
going to
that is
get.
the truth. And wherever you go, you were running.
But somehow I didn't get AIDS.
Oh boy, yeah, poor
But my 8-year-old likes to tell everybody they have AIDS now, so that's
poor
great.
slutty Jenny.
Jenny, didn't mean to bother you near that black pot at the party.
Yeah, Jenny's had more men inside her than a urinal at a rest stop.
Actually, I like to call her.
Now she's back to Forrest whenever she's had her fill, literally.
Yeah.
This has turned into such a problem.
So my brother, he doesn't listen to this anyways. I don't really care. But his wife's name's Angie, and she actually had some fun at a Black Panther party for like 3 years.
When he does watch this,
that makes me want to like bow my head and
I'll
raise
beat
my
him
fist.
up. Fuck him. I don't care. I love him, but you got cucked.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Babyless cuck.
I don't know how it is that word has taken on such life in the last 2 episodes of this. It all started from a pre-show hot mic rant from you. I don't even know what started it.
The truth came out. I've been thinking about this for years.
Uh-huh.
I want everybody to raise my babies.
Okay.
And not knowing, and I don't have to pay for it.
So when God said in Genesis that the command was given to be fruitful and multiply, and
I am the fruit,
and to replenish the earth, which means in that context to fill the earth,
yes.
You took that personally and said, "Hey, Jehovah, I gotcha.
I gotcha.
I'm going to go fill the earth." Well, let's see. You've already got what's the current total that we know of? 3?
3. I think 3.
Is
More
that
than
it?
that, I'm sure, but I don't really know.
All right, we've got to get you on that 23. Is it 23 and me, the DNA thing? We got to do that and see.
23 and Steve.
Oh God. Well, from the sounds of it, right now it's Steve in 23.
Like, you're related to Steve Randolph. You're related to Steve Randolph.
Well, I know this.
I'm from Africa. How am I related to that motherfucker?
I know this in the greater Blacksburg, Virginia area. It's Hokies in 14.
Oh, Hokies in 14.
And that has a double meaning. Number 1, they're underage. Number 2, they're missing a bunch of chromosomes.
Yeah.
We don't have any Virginia Tech updates, man. I miss having Virginia Tech updates. Of course, someone's had to gotten arrested lately
Somebody got raped
for
just
doing
now.
for doing something.
Somebody had sex with an underage girl just now.
Well, it's the off season, and I know that they're off campus now.
Never off season for underage rape.
Yeah, I mean, but the year's over for school, so I know they're not going to summer school because they're not going to go to any classes they don't have to. So they're bored. I know maybe not now because they just finished finals, but in another probably 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to start. The Hokies are going to start getting a little rapey.
Rapey.
They get really rapey once fall drills start. Getting ready for the season, they got to be in top shape.
That Penn State shit, like, that was definitely, I think Virginia Tech pinned it on them. Like, I think it actually happened at Virginia Tech, and they made it up like it was like...
Yeah, but Virginia Tech stuff tends to be more hetero. Everyone that's ever been popped, it's always been a player with,
At least they like girls
with a bunch
there,
of underage girls.
That's true.
Yeah. They're never doing the whole shower time thing.
They're like, I like boys a lot.
Yeah, Penn State, they really knew what and 30-some years of that, man.
37 years of watching soap bubbles drop down off a boy's butt cracks. That's just...
And you take it just to a whole other level. My gosh.
That's a lot of nasty.
What was funny, though, is we talked about this on another episode, and I posted the picture, was the Penn State logo that instead of the Nittany Lion had the shower head. One of the funniest
if you don't look
things
at it
I've
fucking
ever
twice,
seen.
you don't even notice it.
Not at first. And
Is
then
that
you
a
see
shower
it.
head?
And I think it also says State Penn.
State Penn shower head.
Yeah, I think it also says State Penn. All right,
Where's Sandusky at anyway?
prison?
One of the biggest towns around Cleveland, Sandusky County. Sandusky is in Ohio.
Right, it is in Ohio.
Yeah.
Well, right now he's in prison, and I believe he's residing in Pound Town.
Pound Town.
That's where he belongs.
That's where he wants to be.
Absolutely. No, not at all.
He might.
No, Mr. Sandusky has won the toss and elected to receive.
Somebody asked you the
in his
questions.
federal prison sentence.
Yeah, he was asked some questions he had no answers for not too quick.
How did we start talking about Jerry Sandusky?
I don't know. I was thinking of Cedar Point, I think. I don't know.
Isn't that an amusement park?
Yeah, it's in Sandusky.
Okay. You know Ohio better than I do. I'm usually just driving through it.
Yeah, Ohio's weird. It's like the weirdest town to get laid in ever. It's so weird.
And by town, you mean the entire state of Ohio?
The whole, yeah, it's so weird. Like, they're just weird. They're fucking weird. It's so weird.
Hey, Teddy Bear, he's talking about you.
It's weird.
Eric Slocum, he's talking about you.
Youngstown might be a little
Slocum,
different.
it may be right.
Youngstown might be a little different, but still. It's still the murder capital of Ohio.
Is it true that that's the only town in Ohio that Virginia Tech recruits?
I think so.
Youngstown? I think it is.
Yeah. Hey, we got to find somebody from Youngstown.
That's where they have one of their satellite campuses. That's where they have their high school prep academy.
Youngstown.
Is in Youngstown. Oh, God, I hate those people. I hate every... I can honestly think of 2 Hokies that I like. 2.
Who?
2. My friend Brian, who is... I went to high school with him. Cool dude. Very vocal on social media. Hilarious. And, under the radar, told me he's going to come to a game at WVU next year.
You said that.
Yeah. So I'm okay with him. And there was a guy my mom used to work with when I was growing up. I was probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. and he worked at the mine that she worked at in HR, and he was kind of a supervisor, and his name was Keith Yates, and such a cool dude, and really thought a lot of him growing up, and he was a Virginia Tech guy, and I can, I'm okay with him. The rest of them need to be put on some type of federal watch list with every major surveillance and intelligence agency that we have. And I mean foreign and domestic.
Yeah, they're kind of fuckboys around there.
I don't even know if considering what FBI has been doing lately, I don't even know if I'd trust them. We may need to call in Mossad and MI6 to do some stuff to watch these people, because obviously whatever we're doing now to try to stop them is not working.
No. Serial rapists.
Pretty much. So, Steph, you play games.
I do.
You play games.
Yes.
Well, say it into the mic, please.
I do.
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's like it's a deposition. Okay. So you play PUBG, but all right, where did you start in games?
Probably
Don't click
Mario.
Probably Mario. Like which Mario? Which Mario are we talking about? Like the original NES with the big square cartridges? Like
Yes.
Super Mario?
Yes, Super Mario.
Yeah. All right, how old are you?
I'm 28.
You're 28.
I like them young.
Okay, so...
Than me.
Okay, so...
I'm a 90s baby.
Okay. Well, yeah, but you can still play NES then. So we're talking like Mario 3, maybe.
Well, I had two older brothers too, so
Okay, so you got
The
the hand-me-down
original,
games.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
You played 1 and 2, and I'm sure you
Some
played
Lion
3.
King.
Everybody played
Super
3.
Nintendo.
Okay, so you went from NES and then into Super Nintendo. So you've had a decent little history with video games.
Yeah.
Okay, well
much.
that's fine. So how do you go from being all nice and innocent and playing video games like Mario and doing all this stuff to meeting him? Yeah.
He fooled me.
Yeah, how'd you meet Steve? I don't know the story. How'd you meet Steve?
It's diabolical.
Actually, he stole my seat at the club.
I drank like 21 shots of tequila that night.
Okay, so which club is this?
It was Club 3D. I was being DD for my older brothers. It was
Nice.
21, and
See, I think this is important because everyone's heard
That means I
about
was 28,
you.
right?
You've just been you've been like Maris on Frasier. Everyone's heard about you, but we haven't actually heard from you. So we need number one, preview exists, and number two, here's some stories. So okay, so you meet at Club 3D, and you're a designated driver. Good for you. We need more of that. We need more DDs.
I was the DD for my
So
older brothers.
technically, Steve, I'll take care of this joke for you. So technically, even then, you were a double D.
Double D.
Very
She's been
good.
a double D
True
her whole damn
story.
life.
That's nice. Okay, so go on.
Well, I was getting up because my brother said they were ready to go, and I turned around and my brother wasn't ready to go, so I went to sit back down, and Steve had stole my seat. And then apparently he remembered me. He was my stalker, apparently, because he
I
remembered.
stuck all.
He remembered when I worked at another gas station in
Okay.
ShopRite Shady. Knew the car I drove and my hair color. It was really creepy, actually.
I do this to everybody.
Wow.
He was like, you work there in Shady, don't you? I was like, what? Yeah.
Did he
course-
say it in a friendly tone or say, you work that 6 to 2 shift, don't you? License plate number starts with a V?
No, him knowing my car was what really freaked me out, but it was kind of months later before we actually started talking, though. But
Okay, but that's where it started.
that's where it started.
Okay, so if months went by, how did he reconnect? Did he just show up at one of the stations one day?
No, back at Club 3D again. Me and my friend had went there, and he asked me to do the cha-cha slide with him.
I was
and then
drunk as shit again.
Drunk.
And where was
again,
this? Where was this?
3D.
So all of this is really kind of centering around 3D, which doesn't even exist anymore. Now it's what,
No.
Club Carbon?
Club Carbon. We were
Whatever.
just talking about this today.
Okay. All right, so that's the next step. We wait a
Next
few months,
step,
and you're back at
And
Club 3D.
then my friend Candy, she started talking to Justin,
I don't remember any of this shit.
Steve's brother. And we all met up at Hooters, and kind of after that we started talking. So
Basically, I was just trying to fuck her, and it turned into something more. Now we have 2 kids, and we live together.
it was like a week, and he was asking me to be his girlfriend.
Okay.
He moved really fast.
That's quick movement, but
I
I was tired of running through all the hoes.
so number one, I am just blown away by the fact that the primary stage or
Was
stage
3D
or
with
stages
It's me being completely drunk
for
as
this
shit.
place, the common thread that we have here: booze,
Booze, yes.
Club 3D,
And her not being drunk.
and Hooters.
I was sober, yeah.
West Virginia.
Booze, Hooters, and Club 3D.
Yes.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, and that's the start of the ballad of Steve and Steph.
That is the start.
That's beautiful. Okay, so you ask her to dance at Hooters? Is that what I'm hearing here?
No. Club 3D.
At 3D.
To do the cha-cha slide.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
So drunk.
Okay, could you at that point execute the cha-cha slide?
I was the
disappeared.
shit everywhere. Every time I dance when I'm drunk, I'm the best you ever saw. Like,
Okay, now
ever.
there's more sirens. Okay, I think the sirens may be coming for you.
I'm
at this
so
point.
good. It's
Steve's
against
the
the law.
stripper. He likes to dance those very sensual dances.
When I think about you, I touch myself. Yeah, that's
I don't
pretty
doubt
much
that. At
He
all.
really does have the best dance moves.
Okay.
I'm a touchy-feely self kind of guy. It's pretty much masturbation around the public without being naked.
Okay, we're going to need to get some video.
Best way to describe
We're going to need to get you to do some video of that so we can post it on the site.
It's been years. My knees hurt now.
That's going to
No, he does it every day. Don't let him lie.
My daughter actually does these dances as well.
see. This is going to be good.
He's
'cause
teaching her bad moves, like really.
She's like strippy type. Like,
Are we thinking about the? Is it the kind of bad moves that I'm imagining he's probably teaching?
like she can booty pop and she's 3.
Oh
so
my God. Okay, so
and
just
she didn't get them from me. Those are all dad.
just out of curiosity, you don't have any, in the basement, you don't have any weight-bearing poles that he's got her down
Nothing.
there working on or anything?
No, thank God.
I just make up something that's a dance she needs to make up. Like, do the baseball dance. She's like, okay, I think I'll twerk to that.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
She's a twerker.
She's 3.
I know, that's horrible. I don't know why she does that.
I know exactly why she does it, because you're getting her to do it so
She
you can
shouldn't.
laugh.
She shouldn't do what I'm doing. She should do what her mom does.
He copies dad. She copies. It's like little mini Steve running around.
Being twerky.
Being twerky. A 3-year-old is not being twerky, Steve.
He dances to everything though. Don't let him lie.
Oh, I mean, I don't doubt that. a
Much
bit.
better than Dave. I have rhythm. All right, damn it.
That's a good point. We do have video.
He's mostly humping the air, so that's his dance.
Okay, Steve the Air Humper.
Yes.
That's a good hashtag. I do have some video it's very entertaining. I don't have any of Steve air humping or anything else. But you
get
mentioned Dave and his dancing.
Yeah.
We do have the video, and I haven't posted it on anything for the podcast yet. But we have the video of Dave doing Zumba.
Holy shit. I think I saw that.
Yes.
That is horrible.
Okay. And the thing was,
That's like when he first met Tammy, wasn't it?
it was around that time.
Body Works?
LA East.
LA East. Okay, something like that.
And
It
we
was
were
something
out
like
there
that.
doing the whole boxing class deal at LA East. And one of the people that was doing that class, it was Chad and Michelle, who now live on the West Coast in California, but she was the Zumba instructor. And they wanted to come in and do some boxing stuff, and they actually took to it pretty well.
Yeah.
So the deal was, Michelle said, well, you can come in and do Zumba. And immediately, the first thing out of my mouth was, I'm not missing this. I'm not participating, but I will not miss Dave doing Zumba. So I go out there. Am I just going to sit there and watch this occur? No. Did I have a smartphone? No. So what did I do? Brought the handheld camcorder is what I did. And I've got a nice little video of Dave doing Zumba. And what makes me so proud in this video, and Dave points this out every time that we show it, the entire time he's doing it, Dave's not really a dancer, but the entire time he's doing this Zumba deal, he's got his hands up in his boxing stance. So there are entire fights in his career where his hands were basically at his waist when he's trying to fight. And yet, when he's doing Zumba, he's got his hands up protecting his chin. And I thought, from now on, I'm just going to get you in the corner and tell you to go do Zumba. And get around and keep your hands up. So I've got that video, and that's pretty funny. I've also got one that took place at our gym over the last couple of months. It was a little longer than that. Our friends Randy and Mary Farrell were in, and their daughter Chloe was in, trying to get Dave to do a cartwheel because she had just come in from gymnastics. And Dave's trying to do cartwheels. It went exactly like you think it went. And he asked me, he said, "You're not videoing this, are you?" And no, I didn't video the first one, and it was out of focus and didn't work. Did I video the second one? Yes, and the second one was better. Have I brought it out to this point? No. Been saving it for a rainy day. It's not raining right now, but I think it's in the air. So we'll save that as a special feature. We will post that as soon as people start donating money to our podcast so we can upgrade equipment. When we start getting donations, I will post the videos of Dave doing Zumba and Dave doing cartwheels, because that's just what we need to do. What were we talking about before that? Oh, Steve dancing. Okay, so you do the dancing.
Fucking magnificent.
You're doing the dancing, and then something happened at Hooters.
Oh, we went to watch a fight at Hooters.
I don't really remember any of this shit. Like, she was telling me this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any. I know anytime I'm drunk, I don't remember anything.
That's
So,
always his excuse, too,
it's
if he
'cause it's
doesn't
true.
remember it.
99% of the first couple meetings we had, I was completely out of my mind. I don't even know if I was a person.
Well, as long as it's true, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with
She
it being,
knows.
as long as it's not just a cop out and it's not actually the
She
case.
knows.
No, it's true.
She
Okay.
knows.
Well, that's what matters. Okay, so what do you remember? What fight it was? Was it UFC or boxing? Probably UFC.
It's
You-
If it
probably
was at
UFC.
Hooters. Okay.
I don't remember.
So how did it translate from watching a fight at Hooters
to get pregnant twice.
to all? Well, that's one way to put it. To all this,
I really don't know. We just started talking after that.
And
She got lucky.
it just sort of gravitated and progressed and grew and whatever other verbs you want to put on this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's nice, and you
to
seem okay.
annoyance.
You seem okay with it.
I was just tired of slaying hoes. I mean, really.
Well, if I know anything, it's that Steve Randolph is tired of slaying hoes.
I'm tired of slaying hoes.
Yeah, you sure seem like it. Well, that's okay. And now you've come full circle and you're back into playing video games and you're making him do it.
Yep.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
I've still never played this whole PUBG
It's
thing.
fun.
I've heard about it a lot. I've seen it played. There's that one, and then there's I think Fortnite is the one everybody's playing.
I think that's garbage.
There's
compared
another
to-
one too that's only in Asia right now that Kenny's playing, and it's made by the same people that make PUBG, and it kind of like brings the best parts of Fortnite and PUBG into this version, but it's not even on American servers yet. And he's been playing it, and it looks pretty cool. So I've actually watched him play some of it on Twitch, and you can watch his Twitch channel at twitch.tv/403pixels. 403 pixels, it should be. But I've watched him play, and it seems like an interesting game.
403, 304?
403.
Why is it 403?
Because he and his gaming group of people that he's known for 20-some years since they went to college together, they all lived together in a house in Huntington, and the number on the house was 403.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking backwards through.
And every time they always talk about anything about those days, they talk about when they lived at 403.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they turned it into, and I thought that was kind of nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been so out of modern gaming in terms of like the PC games and all these MMO, massive media, or massive multi-online, whatever they call it. I've got an Intellivision hooked up at this TV in here. I was playing Burger Time at 4 o'clock this morning because I couldn't sleep.
That's good.
And was pumped because I recycled the board twice and went to like level 15. And I'm super excited, and then kind of thought about it and said, you know what? It's not 1983.
It doesn't matter. It's 1983 where you're at when you decide
really
to fucking
is.
be 1983.
Well, at that point, I was also listening to 80s music.
That's good. What were you listening to?
Let's see, last night I just had the 80s mix list going on. So we're talking, there was no Thompson Twins. No.
I was actually, that's just not one. Actually, no, it wasn't that. It was Flock of Seagulls that was going through my mind. I ran.
We had some Crowded House, some Simple Minds, not the Rembrandts.
No, that's 90s.
No. Who am I thinking? It's the group that sings "Talking in Your Sleep."
I can talking in your sleep.
I feel like an idiot.
Sticks?
No, it's the something, and I mean I know this like the back of my hand, and for the life of me, I cannot.
I can hear when you're
Steph,
talking
will you look
in
it
your
up
sleep.
so I don't feel like a moron because it'll drive me nuts
I would,
until
but
I.
my phone just
The
died,
secrets
so.
that you keep when
You're
you close your eyes and you fall asleep. Sleep. Is that
See,
the one?
yeah, and we hear it, and we've got it going on right now, and oh man, I'm glad we're doing this in real time so I can look like an absolute idiot.
No, it's okay.
I'm
Do you have your phone, Steve?
I'm
No,
almost.
it's dead.
It starts with an R.
The recounters. No.
Oh.
Ooh, that's me.
That sounds terrible.
Shit.
Thankfully,
Sorry.
that was only the headphone amp, and it didn't come through that.
Good,
But yeah,
good.
that's...
Yeah, because that was me, like, oh.
Here we go. The Romantics.
The Romantics. That happens.
Well,
That's a good-ass song to play some Burger Time, too, though.
yeah, but they only had 2 hits, so there's a reason why I didn't remember them all that well. I know my one-hit wonders, and I know the ones who had like 50, but the 2-hit wonders are always harder to remember.
Oh, yeah, because they don't go away.
They had two
was the other
big
one?
songs. Let's see. Talking in Your Sleep, and I mean I can hear the other.
Abracadabra?
That was Steve Miller Band.
That was good shit, though.
And that was also the 70s or maybe 1980s.
That's a good-ass song. I want to reach out and grab you.
Okay, I like Margarita Steve. I also like Bad Karaoke Steve.
Hey, I'm not trying to sing. I'm just trying to remember the words.
Oh, they sang That's What I Like About You.
Oh, okay. That's a good song.
I don't even have to look that up. That's what they sang. But I was listening to a lot of that. Madness singing Our House.
In the middle of our street.
Obviously, Tears for Fears, The
yeah.
Outfield. I mean, just a total 80s playlist. But I'm doing that, and I'm playing video games from 1982 and 83 and 84.
That's awesome.
And I'm just rocking it because I can't sleep. And
It's a
insomnia
fucking
is
dream.
terrible.
That's great.
There was a period this week that I slept 9 hours in 4 days. So I've spent a lot of time playing old video games and catching up on hours of podcasts from different things that I listen to and just trying to get that out of the way. But mainly, I just wanted to get kind of the background on you two because that's some stories I didn't know.
It's all drunk.
And how we ended up talking about Burger Time. From that, I don't know.
I had some burgers during that time.
Yes, but not anymore.
Not anymore, but at that time, I was a meat-eating son of a bitch. Coal mining, meat-eating. Yeah, all that good
Coal
stuff.
mining, meat eating. If you go about 3 more of those, you're going to sound like Ric Flair.
I was Ric Flair at that time.
Limousine riding,
Fucking
something or other, son of a gun. Woo!
Tudor's Biscuit World eating biscuit mother.
Now, you can still eat biscuits from Tudor's.
No, I can't.
Why not?
It's buttermilk.
So
I don't eat any kind of dairy product, man.
No animal byproduct.
Oh, my
Nothing
God.
for the
And
teeth.
then, okay, is there anything more of an animal byproduct than cricket?
Fuck that. Crickets are not animals. They're soulless, lungless creatures. They don't even need oxygen to breathe. I will eat them. They're from another planet. They're moon crickets.
Hashtag Steve Logic.
Hey, they're what they are. I can eat crickets.
So, but technically, you just ate meat.
No, actually, if you think about it,
We had
if
this
you
conversation.
shut up, Stefan. So the whole point about this is
Oh boy.
and the reason why I don't eat meat because it's not sustainable in a grand scheme. Okay, it really isn't. It's destroying the earth.
Yeah, but it tastes so good.
It does, and I totally agree with that. I love burgers, and that's Stephanie. I love burgers. I love that stuff. But a cricket is a very sustainable animal. You know, and it's not even really what it comes down to eating meat or anything like that. It's just the ability of sustainability. And if I could take my part out of needing that, then it does relieve a little. So it's more of a mental play than anything else.
Okay.
It's not that I hate fucking burgers because I love them. Okay, I love them with a nice big old, sunny side up egg over it. I love that. That's what I do.
I'm going to be so happy when you finally fall off the wagon.
It's not going to happen.
And you end up at Buffalo Wild Wings. And not only do you have a bunch of wings in front of you, you stopped at Wendy's on the way in and you've got 2 burgers there. And you're like, yeah, I decided I couldn't take any more. And they come over and say, excuse me, sir, would you like some celery with your wings? No, I've had enough celery.
So the point is, the reason why I do
And
this,
you've had it.
it's not easy. That's why I like to do it. I like to do things that aren't easy.
You know what's also not easy? Eating nothing but meat and cutting out everything else.
I did that too. I did a reverse. I did that keto stuff, and my cholesterol went shit, and it was not good. And I had chest pain. So
I will say this: I've got a history of diabetes throughout my entire
me
family.
too. Mine as well.
I checked my blood sugar yesterday.
And it was
I check
perfect?
it every 4 or 5 months. I'll check it. 91.
That is perfect.
That is absolutely outstanding.
Suck.
Now I don't know. And every time I've ever had a full blood panel, the critical numbers, blood sugar, cholesterol, all that stuff, have been
Perfect.
in the perfect range,
Yeah.
and I can't explain it. Now, when that finally stops,
It's going to be bad.
I'm not even going to explode. I'm just going to implode.
You're going to be like a star.
I'm gonna be somewhere
Black
doing
hole
something,
bread.
and I'm just gonna be mid sentence. Like, you know what I need to do? I need to go ahead and get this finished, and then I've got to go, and I'll just be gone. That's how it's gonna work, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I always said I'll be dead by 40.
I don't know.
My stress level and all the nonsense I put up with and everything. I said, yeah, I'll be dead. I said that in my 20s, and I think some days I'm ahead of schedule because I'm already starting to fall apart. So I feel more confident that I'll be dead by 40 now than ever.
Like brass on the Titanic.
Don't bring up the Titanic, man. A bunch of people died. It was terrible.
It was unsinkable. They deserved it.
They said it was unsinkable.
So was the Lusitania.
Yeah, when you taunt God like that, he has a funny way of going, want to bet?
You sunk my battleship.
That wasn't really a battleship.
It was a ship.
Have you seen the college drinking game from a few years ago that somebody created called Battle Shots?
No.
And they use these 2 pizza boxes and make a battleship grid and put shots in it, and that's how they drink.
That's
head
the
to head.
shit. That's awesome.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Hell yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a drinker at all.
E6.
but
that's a hit.
That's pretty funny. I thought that was pretty funny. All right, Steph, favorite video game, go. Ever. Not now, ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh, gosh.
What is it? Answer.
I'm really going to have to think about this. Hold on.
You sound like the moans at the beginning of Shawn Michaels' entrance video.
I have a voice for her. I just can't remember what it is. Oh.
That's not it.
What is it?
That's not what you always do.
I don't know. It's one of those. She
Is
hates
it?
She hates it. Like, I'm like,
Constantly, every time I talk.
it's like whales speaking to each other.
He's like SpongeBob or something. I don't know.
Goodness, I mean, that's a little harsh.
We love
He's
each
so
other.
annoying.
She has a good nickname. Ask her what her nickname is.
Which one? You call me like a million different things.
Not Kindergarten Skank. What's the other one? That's my favorite one. Kindergarten Skank. I love that.
Did you say kindergarten skank?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You said kindergarten skank.
Yeah.
Those words came out of your mouth one after another.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
He says that often.
It's Tourette's at its best. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, well,
Kindergarten skank.
this is the only thing that's coming to mind for me right now after hearing that.
Okay, what's the other one?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of my favorite video game right now.
Oh.
That's fair. I need to know what the favorite.
I'll leave
video
you alone.
game is.
Figure out your game.
It's extremely important.
She has a couple games she likes to play.
Yeah, but this
She
covers
was really
the
good
whole
at Mario
career.
World there for a little while.
I love Mario.
She actually beat Mario World.
Maybe Mario Kart or something.
Mario Kart. See that Mario Kart amongst the people
I
in
love
your
racing
age
games.
group. That's very
Need
popular.
for Speed.
No, what's that
Need
one
for
we were
Speed.
playing at the house? I don't know what the hell it's called.
I like Raging Rabbit's
You,
pretty good.
you and Calder played all the time, the racing game? Or you did?
The one on his DS?
No, the one on the Xbox One.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Forza.
That's on that. Yeah.
Forza 5 or something like that.
I like racing games pretty good. So
I am abnormally good
We've battled.
at
Racing.
driving games, especially the ones in the arcade with the steering wheel.
oh yeah.
I am abnormally good at those. Cruisin' World is the greatest
Cruisin' USA was
arcade
good,
racing
too.
game in history.
I think I'd like Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit was one of my favorites when I was growing up.
I think that was PlayStation 1
I think so.
or something, because I played, was it 2?
PlayStation 2.
I played that game. Now,
that was it.
there were a couple of Need for Speed
Or there
games
was
on PS1 because...
Oh, yeah, there was.
Because in my game,
Underground was a good one.
in my game copying and selling days in high school, there were a couple of Need for Speed games that I was able to pirate and sell, but the statute of
There
limitations.
was a
is no problem.
snowboarding game I used to like a lot too.
Statute of limitations is never a good thing to hear.
No, it's not. Not ever. The snowboarding game is like one of the X Games
Cool
games.
Borders.
Yes,
Cool
that's
Borders.
Cool Board.
Cool Borders. That
Cool
was
Borders 3.
I liked it pretty well.
okay.
too.
I've never done anything on snow except like walk through it with big shoes on.
Yeah, Cool Borders.
I've never been tubing I've never been skiing. I've never been snowboarding. But I played that game a little bit, and that was kind of fun.
It was pretty fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It's way more fun than actually doing it and losing control and hitting a tree. Like you're throwing a football with the Kennedys and then you die.
I've been
Or the
snowboarding
Clintons.
once. It wasn't fun.
Where'd you go snowboarding? Winter Place?
Winter Place.
Here?
Yes. I got stuck in the snow, like went off the trail.
It's not my... Wait, okay. I'm afraid...
Stephanie's not a Division I athlete.
I almost just let that go by. You lost control and went off the trail and did you say into the woods?
Just a little bit, just like into the deep part of the snow. Got kind of stuck. My snowboard got stuck in the snow. Someone had to help me pull out.
I need help pulling out
Shut
sometimes.
up, Steve. I knew that was
She
coming.
tries to help.
Going to mute both of your mics. This is a good time to have a little disclaimer. Again, I'll have to warn both of you, because you've both been guilty once, about phrasing. Watch your phrasing. And not because I'm offended or any of our listeners are, just because people might download this and they might use little snippets for soundboards later, and you're going to be saying terrible things you didn't even intend. So phrasing about pulling out, about other things that you've talked about wanting to eat, just other things you've said throughout the show, and now we return you back to our regularly scheduled program.
If you give me information or ammo, I will use that against you.
Yeah, he'll do that a lot.
I know.
And that's fine. You just wag your tongue at her.
She knows what that means.
I didn't even see what
You
he
probably want to put a towel on that chair whenever. Oh, actually, it's not your chair. Don't worry about it.
Say a towel, Steve.
A towel.
Doing some hydroplaning, are you?
Yeah, maybe a wet dry back. I don't know yet.
I don't know why you muted him.
You know what's bad is, normally I have a nice outline for the show about what things we're going to talk about and some reminders.
Didn't happen.
And this is instinct. You can't teach that.
No.
This is instinct. I made an entire outline for the first half of the show. And for the second half of the show, the only thing I wrote was talk to Steph. Because I knew that as that happened, organically, things would go nuts. And as it happens, I was right. What I didn't account for, and this is my fault, but I would appreciate a warning next time, Miss Minton. I would appreciate a warning about the margarita intake.
Badminton over here.
Yes, badminton.
We were kid-free.
Kid free.
Well, I know that kid-free usually is like, you react the same way to that as you do when the bell rings on the last day of school.
Oh,
and you
shit,
walk out of the door and just throw the clipboard and both hands are up. Yeah, I know you're pumped. But I need a
Breakfast
little...
Club.
I need a... Yes. Great 80s reference.
She
High
likes
five.
it. That's one reason
Brilliant.
she gets to do it, because she likes
Oh,
that.
that's awesome. But just in general, I need a warning about Margarita Steve, because apparently Margarita Steve leads to Karaoke Steve and a couple of other Steves. And it's not that I'm concerned about it, but it's that
Bad mouth, Steve.
number one, I need to adjust the audio
Lower
over
it.
here. I need to adjust the audio just so we are prepared for some of the karaoke. I want to pick up the low, the mid, and the high on all of it, because eventually when he brings the guitar in here, because I've got another mic.
It's going to happen.
When he brings the guitar in here and we've got the music rolling full bore, you need to have a practice run, a dry run, if you will.
It won't be a
And just be
Margarita
ready.
Steve. It'll just be guitar trying to sing Steve type shit.
Unless,
pretty good.
Unless Margarita
really.
Steve sings Margaritaville.
I would never
No.
do that. That's not my style.
I
It's like
don't-
Goo Goo Dolls and stuff like that.
I don't
like
care.
playing-
I don't care. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Our listeners would throw money at us for Steve to sit here and sing Margaritaville. And I mean wearing the hat, the big blue Hawaiian shirt, which would go very well with what Steph's wearing tonight. I mean, the whole deal. You don't even have to like it, but if it's going to get us some equipment to do mobile shows at will, you're going to have to do it.
I probably could swing that. I have to go practice a little bit.
I mean, you'd only have to do it once, then you can sing whatever you want.
I have to practice that. I never even thought about doing that.
That is
Ever.
not true. In an earlier episode,
It's like-
you talked about having the guitar. Okay, that's another thing we need to bring up. by far, Steph is our most prolific listener.
She is.
Listens to every episode.
I get in trouble for that shit sometimes.
No, you do not.
Okay, so here's
He
what
lies on me.
So here's what I've got to know. First of all, and we need honest feedback. We need information here. So number one, why do you listen to every episode? Are you gathering information on him?
No, not exactly. It's just
Okay.
I like to listen to stuff while I'm doing my paperwork.
Okay, but and you like to listen to stuff, but you choose to listen to us. So
pretty
that must
entertaining.
mean, so that must mean that you do like the show.
I do like
There's
the
another
show.
side of me that she was saying earlier, because I am I'm bipolar. It just happens. Mm-hmm. I have a really big kind of, I guess it would be the manic phase when I'm home.
Okay.
I keep everything bottled up during the day, so I'm all mania when I get home, pretty much.
Sure.
So this is the point that she was telling me earlier about there's a different side that's not experienced because I'm not in that environment. So
All right.
that was one of the big things that she was talking about earlier.
Okay, well that's fair. But you choose to listen to our show, and now you're on it, so now you get to listen to that too, and that's going to be awesome.
It's pretty scary.
No, it shouldn't be. You're doing.
It's weird hearing your own voice.
It shouldn't
It
be. You're
really
doing
is.
fine. I hate hearing my own voice, but I'm the editor, and I have to listen to all these.
But you have a good voice.
But
so.
I enjoy our shows. That's how I know we're doing a good show, because I don't really like listening to myself, but I find myself listening to some of our shows more than once because they are kind of fun to listen to. At least I think so.
It's pretty random, entertaining.
It is. So, all right. So, what do you like about the show?
Probably the randomness, to be honest with
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Y'all
Well,
pretty
that's
much
good.
cover a lot of aspects in life.
Well, we'll talk
so-
about anything.
Yeah.
That's what I've said before, is that Seinfeld was the show about nothing. We're the show about everything.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Because we'll talk about sports, video games, politics,
Little bit of
stupid
everything.
people, books.
I like your top fives. Those are pretty fun.
Yeah, we haven't done a top five in a while.
That's true.
We need to bring the top five back. Next episode, we'll come up with one.
It's a good one.
We have to do. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, what needs to change about the show? What's something that needs to... I know what my thing is. I think Steve needs to talk more. And he's talked a lot more tonight.
Margarita.
So much. Okay, but I think that needs to be stable more often.
This episode's brought to you by, Rio Grande.
Rio Grande's bar.
Good job, guys.
You only had one. That's the main thing.
That's the thing. I'm telling you, the carb intake, now it doesn't take anything because I don't drink anymore.
Uh-huh.
So when I do drink, it's like...
Except tonight. Except tonight.
one margarita.
I don't drink anymore. Except tonight.
One margarita.
Well, actually, I think that would be Uno.
Uno... Oh, I said Juan margarita, but I guess...
Is it? You know what that is? Juan Margarita is now your alias on the internet.
Juan margarita.
Steve is just going to be Juan Margarita everywhere he ever goes. That and Brett Stevenson.
But, okay.
Okay. So what?
Too much
needs to
like
change?
JP. He gets too much credit for that shit.
That's true.
Fuck him.
All right. So what do we need to change?
What do you need to change?
Yeah. How can we improve? Do we need to be more prolific and keep doing more episodes and not taking 5-month breaks when we don't want to?
I do agree on that.
Okay. And Steve needs to talk more?
Steve does need to talk more.
Okay. Like tonight.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good.
A little bit more back and forth with y'all would be good.
Okay, I'm going to give you another one here. You said you like the top fives. What does our next top five need to be? I'll let you pick the top five, but here's the deal. You get to pick the top five. But on the episode that we do the top five, you've got to get on your phone
And submit my top
and
five.
and record yourself giving your top five, and we'll play that as part of, and we'll get other people to do it too. But you can pick the top five, and then you've got to do the top five. So, tread lightly.
You need to come back to me.
You can do it anytime, though.
Figure it out, buddy.
Anytime we ever have an episode and tease a top five, you can submit yours. It's great to have listener feedback. We need more of it. And that does remind me, we got some listener feedback from a listener in the United Kingdom
I know you were telling me that's
last
fucking
week.
awesome.
So Andy Arter, who is also the
Nice
host of...
feedback, though.
Yes, he is also the host of his own podcast called Transform Your Health and Wealth. And he's been doing that, has quite a few episodes in the bag.
Out of the UK?
Yes,
I'm going to check that out, actually.
absolutely. It's an entertaining show. He does kind of some short
Transform
form.
your health and your wealth.
Yeah, he does some short form stuff here and there. Very, very personable guy. has a good voice for it, and it does everything production-wise himself. Has had some interesting people on, has done some giveaways, but he was listening to our show and gave us really not even just good feedback, some really cool feedback, and I appreciated that from him. I'm going to try to pull it up and tell you exactly what he said. He said, "You guys are very slick and professional, a great listen."
Oh, that's good.
And
Which it is a very relaxing listen, I think. When I'm listening to it, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's good to listen to while I'm driving because I become a little bit more relaxed.
Well, I'm hoping that we can make... what I want to do in these episodes, hopefully, I want to make people laugh. I want to make people think. Hopefully not make them cry in a bad way. And then I want them to come to the end of the episode and think, not only am I going to listen again, I'm glad I listened to this one and made my day a little better. That's what I'm shooting for, and I think we are too, because this is still, and we've said this more than once, this is a creative process for us.
It's new. This is a baby.
Yeah, we're really, this is episode 12, and it's hard to believe that it's only 12.
Yeah,
because it seems like we've been doing a lot, and yet at the same time, it's like, I can't wait to see where this thing goes next.
There's no falsity in this. This is all natural. It's
oh,
organic.
no, this is completely authentic to the nth degree for you math nerds. Oh, my gosh.
I like nth. I don't think I've ever heard of nth.
We are nowhere near critical mass yet. There is so much we can do. I'm hoping there are a couple of guests that I've got sort of in the works, and I don't know what the timetable is on that. But we're going to get that worked on here soon.
What do you think about Mike Shepard? I'll get him on here.
Mike is.
You might forget who we are, but we can get him on here.
As soon as we can get the mobile set up,
yeah,
I'm going to try to get Mike to do one at the weigh-in before one of his shows.
I just like to get him at home.
And if not, we may have to go to Parkersburg, but I can take everything up there and we can just sit down and talk to him.
We couldn't do a teddy bear type thing, like have him come in.
I don't know how good his cell signal is out where he lives.
It's Mike Shepard. He's probably pretty.
It might be. It might be kind of.
Probably
tough.
set up a personal satellite just for him.
Because I've talked to him before, and the phone's been kind of cutting out a little bit. So if we can get something set up, I'd really like to do it in house. Because Mike, sitting down and interviewing Mike is a whole lot of fun. Just having conversation with Mike is fun because he's got
a nice dude.
So many life experiences that none of us in boxing are ever going to have.
I want to tell him I use him on a video game.
And he's won like 7 world championships in 2 different sports. So.
And he fought a guy that I sparred with a couple times in South Dakota, Rick Cheek, which is an ISK world championship. Was a world champion at one time.
He's a bad man.
And actually, Rick beat Mike.
I'll tell you what.
In a K1 fight.
Well, I'll tell you what, that means that Mike didn't hit him with a head kick because I've never seen anybody take a Mike Shepard head kick and then be able to speak English after it's over.
You know, the thing about it is Rick and Mike,
Lord.
I mean, when I sparred with Rick, his jab, you could hear the air come off that shit.
It's scary, isn't it?
I was 140 pounds, granted. Never sparred really a day in my life getting in there with a guy like this, won multiple world championships, but it was scary. I mean, to feel a jab, you don't expect to feel wind off a jab, but you could feel that.
I'll tell you what, let's look at getting Mike on here soon. I'll talk to him about that because he's got a show to promote here around the end of July.
He does have a show coming up.
Yeah, and I'm hoping maybe might be able to get you a spot on there.
I want a pro spot
and get that done. So I'll talk to Mike about that and then maybe get him on the show and we can promote that a little bit. But
the only thing I'm worried about is unsanctioned. It
won't be.
It's
going to be pro. It's going to be pro.
Okay, because I was just wondering.
Well, he's talking about amateur. The amateurs aren't USA Boxing.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering about that because I know I read into it a little bit. I didn't know if I had it correct.
I'll talk about that, and then I'll let him come on here and talk about the show, and then we'll do an on the spot with him and come up with some questions and talk to him about all kinds of stuff. Because man, has he lived in
he's a good dude too.
He is one of the best people in boxing and one of my best friends in boxing.
Every time I meet him for the first time, good guy.
I do. I think the world of Mike, and I'm hoping we can get him on here because it'd be fun to sit down with for about an hour, like we did with Teddy Bear.
For sure, yeah.
And just see what all he's got to say because I'll tell you what, we don't hold back. Neither does Mike.
No, Mike's
so that would be a lot of fun. We're going to take one more break, come back, and close the show. It's episode 12 of Apex Live. We'll be back after this. Steve's gyrating again.
Well, Margarita today, it's not me.
Final moments of episode 12 of Apex Live. Downloading, streaming, wherever and however you're listening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Or today. I don't know what time you're listening. I'm just glad you are listening. This one has gotten completely out of control. During the last break, we did I think we came to the conclusion that we believe that Marv Albert is still out there biting hookers.
He's biting one right now.
Probably so. And that's the thing about
Yes.
it. We don't know. We know when we're recording. We don't know when you're listening. But that's still an evergreen statement. Whenever this is, Marv Albert's probably biting hookers. I'm not saying he is. That could be defamatory. That could be slander. But I'm saying 51-49 likelihood, probability. I took statistics in college. Probably biting hookers. And you know why? I'm not going to condemn him and say there's something wrong with it. I'm just going to say Marv Albert likes biting hookers. And that is written down in court. That is part of the official record in the court system of New York. Marv Albert bites hookers.
He doesn't have fuck you money. He has biting hookers money.
That's true. And you know what? Great play-by-play guy. A lot of
perfect.
A lot of basketball, a lot of football, a lot of boxing over the years. But when in his downtime, he thinks, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna brush up the toupee a little bit. I'm not going to wear the one that's got a little bit more length. I'm gonna wear the one that looks nice and tight and touched up. And then now I'm gonna go bite some hookers. That's what he's gonna go do.
I wonder if he took the toupee off when he bit the hooker, or he bit the hooker because she pulled his toupee off.
You know, that's more of a philosophical question. I don't know the answer to that.
I need to figure it out.
So we're going to do an Apex Live investigation.
Why did you bite the hooker? Did she pull your hair off?
We have got to get an interview scheduled with Marv Albert and just let you ask questions until he hangs up. You'll be what?
Marv Albert.
No. You're gonna ask him these questions, and I want to see how many questions deep you can get into this before he just goes, you know what? That's enough.
Bite a hooker.
Or he may surprise us all and say, Marv, so you still like biting hookers? Yes!
That counts.
See, all the Albert brothers have been involved in boxing. Steve Albert was on Showtime Championship Boxing for years. He just went into the Boxing Hall of Fame for that. And my favorite one was Al Albert, who was the voice of USA Tuesday Night Fights.
Tuesday Night Fights, USA Tuesday Night Fights.
Yes, and it was the best boxing series. I miss that every day.
The first Roy Jones Jr. fight I saw was USA versus Cuba. And he hit that Cuban with a damn body hook and melted him in the first round.
He's unbelievable.
Like the third punch thrown in the fight, melted him.
But I always remember watching so many great fights from Casino Magic in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Watching 40-plus-year-olds like Foreman, Larry Holmes, and Roberto Duran fight all the time throughout the Midwest. And I remember all the fights at Blue Horizon in Philadelphia.
The Blue Horizon.
Man, that was fun. And, of course, we don't have that anymore because we're stuck with garbage on premium channels that really shouldn't be on television. Much
What about
less
Mohegan Sun? The Mohegan Sun.
I don't know if they ever did anything for Mohegan on USA. Now, they did that on ESPN2's Friday Night Fights. Yeah, that was up in Connecticut.
Mohegan Sun.
Man, there's been some good stuff over
There's some
the
good
years.
fighters coming out of Connecticut, really.
Northeast is stronger now than it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gravitates here and there, but...
What the fuck do you do in Connecticut? That shit sucks. Like, really?
From what I've been told, looking on Wikipedia, they eat crickets.
Yeah. Well, I'm moving to Connecticut. Connecticut.
You are not moving to Connecticut. You and the Northeast would not get along at all.
They're too, I don't know.
Well, you know who's from the Northeast? Bernie Sanders.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you want to go up there and deal with that? Move to Vermont and go deal with
Vermont.
Bernie Sanders and his idealist socialist commune.
That's the worst state in the United States, fucking Vermont, besides New Hampshire and Delaware. It's Vermont.
You know why Vermont's so bad?
Does Delaware even count?
Yeah, it does. But do you know why? You want to know why Vermont is so bad? Think about what their abbreviation is. Yeah,
Virginia
VT.
Tech.
It all comes back to VT, because as we all know, VT equals VD.
VD.
I hate those people. Steph, thanks for joining us tonight. Did you have fun?
I did.
I'm glad you had fun. A listener becomes a participant. That's not something that happens all the time.
Participer.
That is not the word.
Oh.
That is not the word at all. Participant.
Oh.
Oh, for God's sake.
That was a little bit of Don King. I'm sorry.
Drop us a line.
Cardi B.
Drop us a line and tell us if you want to hear more of Margarita Steve, because...
I'll get drunk for you if you really want it.
Is it going to be different than it is now?
Just depends how many margaritas. I may be, I wouldn't be Juan Margarita. I would be somebody else.
Dose?
No, do we have to think of another name for Dose? Because Juan's a name.
Juan is a name.
Juan Margarita.
Gosh, if we have to go to a point where we got to come up with a name...
I have to do some research on some Mexican names that start with D.
Oh, this cannot end well at all, and I think that's our cue. Oh my Lord. Did that just happen?
Dawn Margarita.
Oh Lord. Thanks for listening, everybody. Remember, betrayal never comes from your enemies. Watch your six. And one more piece of advice. Only the meek get pinched. The bold survive.
I thought you said meat. Sorry.
That's a zipper thing. I'm Brad, that's Steve. This has been Apex. No, it hasn't. It's been Apex Live. They got me flustered. Good night, America. Wherever you are.